Hey, welcome back to the Game Room and GameRaveTV. Let's get down to business. Trophies and achievements. Those wonderful little additions to video games that either fill you with joy or drive you around the bend. Microsoft's original creation of achievements with the Xbox 360 way back in 2005 opened up a whole new world of player addiction and ego boosting. While PlayStation would patch trophies into the PlayStation 3 later, the concept had found the foothold it needed to be a staple of modern day gaming. How one acquires these digital shelf warmers can vary in their requirements. Some are simply story-driven, others require certain tasks to be performed, and others just require you to sacrifice every waking hour of your life to online gameplay. Love them or hate them, they do add replayability and mostly add enjoyment to your favorite games. I bring this topic up in today's episode because in reality, achievements have been around since the dawn of gaming. The difference being they weren't tracked, and in most cases, it was just posting a high score to the attract screen, but the concept is still the same. As a long-time, very weathered gamer, I can also tell you that game players have been snagging achievements their entire life. That is, the ones we made up ourselves present our own unique challenges. So what if the accomplishment vanished when you turned off the system? We had the tale to tell. There was no need for a preloaded checklist, we were in charge of our own destinies and the absurd paths it would take to get there. To help celebrate these self-inflicted digital checklists of mayhem, I wanted to share the various trophies I would set up for myself over the past 3 decades, with examples provided as well. Let's get down to it. Trophy number 1. Paper or plastic. The simplest of the homemade challenges. Buy out every storefront in the game. In titles like Mass Effect 2 and 3, you can purchase various upgrades and in-game story items as you so choose. And I bought every single one. Seriously. I would not ding the final mission until every single shop owner and kiosk was drained of every last purchase. I game plussed Mass Effect 3 so many times I was able to knock out everything including all the DLC stores and kiosks as well. I only need 1 or 2 more Game Plus playthroughs of Mass Effect Andromeda to have every last piece of research purchased, which leads us to the trophies variant. Trophy number 2. It's not hoarding. I swear. As little did I know when I was a young lad on my original NES playing Final Fantasy I that I was about to create my first ever personal trophy, the maxing out of inventory slots. That's the main difference between these first 2 trophies. The first allows upgrades to be applied to the same weapon, thus not reducing your inventory space. But here in Square's first step to RPG dominance, your inventory did indeed have its limits. In discovering the infamous Hall of Giants late in the game, players can amass an unholy amount of gold and experience points. With the financial grind in hand and readily accessible at any time, I went about maxing out every single item slot I could. 99 potions, 99 elixirs, 99 tents, 99 houses, 4 magic spells for every casting level on both mages, and on and on. And once every slot was maxed out, I just kept walking the walk until I maxed out gold too. It's just how I roll. Trophy number 3. Out Youll X. A personal favorite, these are essentially the hidden trophies of our personal challenges because you don't know you did them until you did them. My earliest with one of these actually takes place with Final Fantasy I. All that leveling in the Hall of Giants caused me to peak at the in-game's max level of 50 for all 4 characters. When I got to the final boss, I cast fast on my black belt, my unarmed black belt, and let him attack first. In a single punch, he did 500 more points than the boss had total, which means I had just beaten the boss of a role-playing game in a single unarmed punch. Another fun memory was in Burnout Revenge. I won a race by only 1/10 of a second, a single 10th of a second. It also happened to be the last gold I needed, so you can imagine how loud the woo was when it happened. Another good example is when you pull a victory out of a fighting game match, and your health is quite literally 0. Trophy number 4. Relationship goals. A real-life achievement. Those who game together, stay together, and nothing could be more true. Becky and I have been together for 13 years, and in that time we've shared some incredible experiences both in co-op and versus each other. We've completed Bubble Bobble multiple times, co-op Mass Effect 3's excellent multiplayer an insane amount of times, and currently we just surpassed our 120-hour mark in Fallout 76. As far as versus goes, well, she'll take on anyone in Bomberman. And win. Severely win. It gives a whole new meaning to Trophy Wife. Number 5. Self-Depreciation. This is probably my favorite of the invented achievements because it will help you discover just how inventive and crazy you are. This trophy is for when you give yourself the dumbest, possibly hardest challenge in a specific game just to say you did it. My all-time favorite for this category was finishing the Super Nintendo's glorious home conversion of Capcom's UN Squadron, based on the Area 88 anime, with the original plane. For those that have never played it, I'll illustrate why this is so hilariously stupid. The base plane's ordnance isn't designed for 2 of the game's stages, much less the final boss. If you do make it to the end game and have blown off all the various parts of the ship, with no vertical weaponry to help, one must cram themselves between the inner hull of the ship and the weak point's dome. The margin of error measures in pixels, and you have to be ever so gently tapping on the D-pad to move as the ship moves. I don't know if I could repeat that feat today, but my god, that was a chest thumper back in the day. Other examples would be like my friend Alan not moving Final Fantasy VII story along until every character had a master materia, beating Street Fighter II with just a jab button, and more. A curious but not difficult revelation was that you can actually make it through the entire first stage of Contra on the NES without firing a shot. You only need to attack once you hit the final boss of the stage. Trophy 6. Flawless Perfection. This trophy can be extremely diverse because how it is acquired is determined by the game one is playing, and can be simple to clinically insane in its approach. It simply requires being perfect at something in a game. It could be throwing a no-hitter and bases loaded, winning every match in Mortal Kombat without taking a single hit, even making each next lap in Gran Turismo your new fastest lap. Perfection is in the eye of the beholder, and it's bittersweet when it comes to an end. My personal best goes all the way back to being Sweet 16 at Aladdin's Castle in Chicago Ridge Mall, Illinois. Me, Blanca, and the freshly arrived Street Fighter II Turbo Machine would see a literal line of people take me on. After roughly 20 to 30 straight wins, my 15 minutes of fame shrivelled up and died when a 9-year-old Japanese kid perfected me twice in one go. I'm not even kidding. It's not the end I'd wish for, lad, but it did teach me an important lesson about having an ego. Trophy number 7. Real time. This may come across as sappy, but the best achievements we as gamers and collectors are capable of are the ones we ding in real life. Sometimes gamifying one's livelihood is the only way to feel progress and positive gains in a world full of negativity and self-preservation at the cost of attacking others. Whether it's paying off a bill, tracking down that one game that's eluded you for years, graduating from school, learning a new trade or skill, there are plenty of things to celebrate in your daily life. It doesn't have to be something grand either. Hell, I make a trophy noise every time I finish washing the dishes. The point is to be proud of every little thing you accomplish, and you'll find yourself nabbing that real-world platinum trophy, no matter where it takes you or what it takes to get there. And there you have it. 7 fan-made trophy concepts from decades of playing video games. Now, I've talked your ear off, and it's time for you to sound off in the comments section. Do you have personal made-up successes that fit into these 7 trophies? Do you have your own trophies? Post them. Even if it takes a whole paragraph to describe them, set up your challenges in the comments section and let's see who can get whose trophies. I'll post some of my favorite viewer trophies in the community tab as they come in. Hell, invite your friends to drop their stories off here too. The more the merrier. Alright guys and girls, that does it for me this episode. I'll leave you to focus on your storytelling down below, and I'll see you next episode. As always, be safe, have a great week. Take care.